Good evening, my name is Anna McKechnie.
And I'm Luke Curran. Together tonight we present you Scarfie TV.
On tonight's show, we expose to you the secrets of successful study.
We talk to a local entrepreneur, Richard McLeod.
We investigate all that is Mo'May.
And we delve into the world of politics with Political Party of the Week.
Exam season is upon us. This means stress, dirty laundry, and an overindulgence of energy drinks. But here at Scarfie TV, we aim to help you minimise the negative effects of exam study by giving you the best advice around. Scarfie TV chats to Jacques Vandermeer from the Student Learning Centre and discovers the services it has to offer students.
Well, we offer quite a few things. We offer typically workshops for all sorts of things like essay writing, exam preparation, exam revisioning, how to write business reports, things like that. But also we have one-to-one consultations with students, so students can come in with their particular issue, or they want us to have a look at their draft work. So that's what we do as well.
Variation of study techniques can be crucial in reaching your full potential. Jacques explains exactly how students can improve their examination techniques.
Try to prioritise according to the time you've got. Yes, and look at some different methods in which you can retain your information. I always tell my students that just reading doesn't do much at all, because reading is very boring for your mind, for your brain. So your brain gets bored, you get bored. So try to do something different, like mind mapping. Do something fun with your notes. Try to summarise them and summarise them again. Turn them into cue cards. Work together with students, with other students who are doing the same subject. Talk about the material. That really helps, and it keeps you busy and engaged, rather than just keep on rereading over the same notes. It doesn't actually really do much for your retention, to retain information. So whatever you do something different with your notes, other than just reading.
For those of you who are not model students, Jacques gives advice on how to deal with the last-minute study.
Cramming, I think, is, some people probably manage to cram the last minute. Very difficult to retain everything. So if you only have a day, I would say concentrate on the main concept, main theories, and try to do some big conceptual studying rather than all the finer details, because you won't be able to cram and retain all those finer details in one day, I think. Depends on how much it is, of course, how much material it is. But I'd say go for the big picture, big concepts, theories, and make sure that you at least have a good grasp of the bigger picture.
We uncovered the do's and don'ts of prior exam preparation.
Do lots of exercise, drink a lot of water, don't go partying. It sounds silly, but some students still go out the night before, which doesn't help. Don't OD too much on coffee or any caffeine or Red Bull, because it means if you keep on taking caffeine, at some point you come down and you find it very difficult to keep focused. And so yes, keep your caffeine intake down the day before. Drink lots of water, some exercise, some good nutrition. So have a good breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Don't skimp on that one. Make sure you feel really rested and prepared for the next day in terms of having all the stuff that you need together. Don't leave it till the last moment. Make sure you put your ID card, that your dog hasn't run away with it or eaten it, so you can at least sort out, if necessary, something else that you need to bring with you as identification.
Scarfie TV took to the streets of North Dunedin and asked students how they deal with stress around exam times. So how many exams do you have?
I've got 3.
Are you stressed?
Not really, I'm not too worried. Looking forward to getting them over and done with.
So how do you deal with your stress levels?
I don't really have any stress levels at the moment, pretty relaxed.
Say you did have stress levels, how would you deal with them?
Probably do a bit more study to just be more relaxed.
Is there anything you do to take your mind off exams, like around exam time?
Probably for a bit of a walk on the beach maybe, or for a feed maybe, I don't know.
I started studying today, but I've been sick, so I couldn't start earlier.
Are you stressed?
Not really.
Are you going to be stressed?
No.
So, what are you majoring in, studying in?
Doing a BA in film and media studies, just at the moment.
So, how are you finding the stress levels for that?
It's starting to really get up there more and more as sort of more pressure comes on, coming up to crunch time.
So, how do you deal with them?
Well, as you can see, I'm quite a keen golfer, and also like to just sort of play video games on my computer and Xbox.
Do you get much work done?
Yeah, now and then. I try to put in a good sort of 7-8 hours a day.
Held at Allen Hall every Thursday and Friday lunchtimes, Lunchtime Theatre is a breeding ground for up-and-coming Otago University actors. Mandy goes behind the scenes to find out how these productions are run.
Lunchtime Theatre offers a new play every teaching week during semester, created primarily by students, theatre graduates and staff. Allen Hall, located opposite University College, is the home of Lunchtime Theatre and has been providing a venue for actors, technicians, directors and playwrights to perfect their craft since the early 80s. Mark Venning-Slater, a third-year theatre studies student, has been involved in Lunchtime Theatre since his first year at Otago University. Venning-Slater says that Lunchtime Theatre is a great opportunity to get involved.
I started doing lunchtime theatre when I was in my first year of theatre studies, which I guess was about 3 years ago. And ever since then, I've just been doing play after play after play, like different varieties, like movement pieces, naturalistic acting pieces, and just built upon my own experience.
Lunchtime Theatre has presented over 500 shows, many of them original New Zealand work.
Lunchtime theatre offers students an easy way to see how real theatre works. It shows them elements of like the performance side of it, but it also gets into the backstage side of it, such as doing the lighting, doing the sound, stage managing, directing, producing. Yeah, it shows you everything that you need to know in a nice way.
Lunchtime Theatre is held at Allen Hall every Thursday and Friday at 1 p.m. I'm Mandy Doherty for Scarfie Television.
In Political Party of the Week, Mandy talks to National List MP Catherine Rich. A born and bred Dunedinite, Rich's responsibilities include spokeswoman for economic development, Crown businesses, and liaison with the youth.
First point in National's 5-point plan is to improve the living standards of New Zealanders. However, this doesn't necessarily cover students.
Well, we need to raise living standards for everybody in New Zealand, otherwise students, once they graduate, are going to leave, go offshore, and unfortunately we're seeing a number of them choosing to do that, from courses ranging from social work right through to the commercial courses. And basically when students leave, I think they want to go into jobs that pay them enough to pay off their loans, but pay them enough so they can establish families and stay here.
Rich told Scarfie Television that National does not have any policies which seek to improve the living standards of students specifically, but National's policies aim to keep New Zealand students in New Zealand after their studies.
And so that's why we look at issues to do with the economy, because we've got to make some big improvements, otherwise more students are going to go offshore.
Currently, a full-time student under the age of 25 is only eligible for a student allowance if their parents' combined income is less than $63,000. Rich says that this is not a concern of the National Party, as she believes this is not an issue that students are worried about.
Well, we're not planning any changes to that area, but I have to say it's not an issue that students bring up with me much anymore. I mean, the interest on loans was something that students were exercised about, but in terms of the threshold for allowances, it's not something people bring up with me. Okay. So if they want to bring it up, please give me a call.
When asked about the amount of support which students receive throughout their studies, Rich indicated that the National Party is more focused on addressing the problems with pay rate so that workers won't seek employment overseas.
Well, of course they're an important part of our future, but more importantly they're a huge part of our town. I mean, Dunedin without the students would be, you know, a small, quiet little town really. So certainly I think we need to do more to ensure that people choose Otago, they decide to come down here, and we need to do more to make it easier to study, but how we do that, I'm open to ideas.
Rich told Scarfie Television that the National Party's plan is to do this by providing better pay and better living conditions for New Zealanders.
Well, that's why we're concentrating on making sure that we make some changes to the country so that people can set up businesses more easily, so that we can create more jobs, so that people can stay. Certainly we need to looking at ways we make New Zealand more attractive, because the last thing any of us want is for New Zealand to become the retirement village of the South Pacific. Most students I speak to, when they leave, want to stay here. Sure, they'll go off and do their OE and have a look at the world, but most want to come back and live here. But unfortunately, if you look at the difference between New Zealand and even Australia, you can go to Australia with the same qualifications and earn, a third, sometimes, double what you would earn here. And most people love this country, of course, but increasingly people start to think, well, if I move across or I go somewhere else, I'm going to be better off for not only themselves, but for families. And a lot of students want to build families once they leave university. It's not something people are thinking about now, but in the long term they want to build a life.
National student loan policy also encourages New Zealanders to remain in New Zealand after graduating by providing a percentage of interest written off for students who live in New Zealand. I'm Mandy Doherty for Scarfie Television.
Held during May, Mo May is one hair-raising event. It combines intense moustache growing with fundraising to raise awareness for male health issues and money for the Prostate Cancer Society of New Zealand. Participants have the whole of May to grow their meanest moustache, but the rules are strict. There is no joining of sideburns, that makes a beard. There is also no joining of the handlebars, that makes a goatee. Although what has been termed a tickler is permitted. Run by OCOM, the Student Society for Commerce Students, Mo May has become something of an institution, with the overall winner taking away 2 nights accommodation in Queenstown and a 15,000 feet skydive. This year's winner was handlebar hero Fraser Murray. $1,500 was raised overall for the Cancer Society, one of the sponsors being our very own Finance Minister, Dr. Cullen.
Scarfie TV is taking a holiday, but we'll be back in a few weeks to bring you more current events of the student variety.
From all of us here at Scarfie TV,
stay Scarfie, Dunedin!